y'all don't know this, but in my head I have a soundtrack to my life. And so as I'm just going about life, there's a soundtrack that just plays. So I was like, well, let me let you guys in on my soundtrack, specifically about what was going on in my life at the time this book was conceived. Make sense? All right, Des. I want everybody to close your eyes. Not yet. Not yet. Now y'all close your eyes. I want you guys to picture 17-year-old Brittany sitting at home, studying. I'm a freshman in college. I'm really stressed out because being successful is hard. And I got my glasses on and I'm studying really, really hard because I want to make all A's and B's. And as I'm studying, I get this tune in my head. And this is what I heard. I was trying to study, okay? I was trying to study as a freshman in college, but I was like, the streets is calling my name, okay? So as I'm trying to live my best life, okay? All right, the streets was calling. And so like any other 17-year-old in college away from home, I said I should answer that call. And so I went on out in the streets. I wasn't by myself. My cousin Amber was with me. She has been my day one ace boon coon, and wherever I go, she goes. So she was with me. Just want to put that out there. She was there too. And so as I'm out in the streets, and I'm out enjoying myself, and I don't know if y'all remember these songs, but this was the type of environment that Amber took me into. Go ahead. There we go. Hey, Devo, I know you know it. Devo does it at the gym, okay? Listen, so I was out, okay, in the streets, doing my stanky leg. Hey. It was other songs that I heard that just kept me out in the streets, as I was out doing what I do. Go ahead. Hey. Don't act like it was just me. Don't act like I was the only one in these streets. I know y'all was in these streets. Don't act like it was just me. Okay, so, listen. But that wasn't enough for me because, I did 4 years in undergrad, and it's a long 4 years, right? So, I just had to rely on all of the music that I could get my hands on. Go ahead.
On my mama, on my I look fly. Hey,
I know you know it. Come on. Hey. Listen. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I was at the club. Every day of the week, okay? Every day. So do we get the picture? Did I set the tone? Are y'all clear about what was happening at this time in my life? Now listen, Kim feels left out. She's from Jamaica. She does not know where none of that came from, okay? Just imagine the most fire Jamaican music ever. Nope. That's what that was. Okay, all right. So I'm out with Amber. We're having fun, doing what I do, doing what we do. And as God would have it, me being fabulous as I am, minding my own business, my own Virgo business. And then this happened. When somebody says what? In my stomach there's a, see you walk in my direction, I go the other way. Right here, nope. You see what's happening to me in the dark, can you tell me what it means? Where you gonna lay his head? Staring where? There you go. Why? He's always where? When he walks by, you do what? in the middle of my wind and my twerk, there was this chocolate. He wasn't 6 foot, but he was close. Chocolate with good teeth, smiling at me. And so that was the night I always say that we collide with destiny. And my destiny just happened to shift the night that I met Jared. And I'm in there shaking and grinding, and we locked eyes. And I was like, ooh, he gonna be mine. Yeah, see, when you make up your mind about what you want before you know what it was that you was asking for, come on. I'm not the only one? Okay, I just want to be sure. So we meet, and this was the beginning of a very long 6-year relationship. But I was excited. So I went home, I ran home to Hammer, I ran home to my sister, and I told them this, Des. Listen, I'm sorry that y'all are at home alone, but I got a man at home. You understand? You understand? Jared loves me, right? Loves all of this. So I'm sorry that you're at home alone by yourself. I took mine home. And so I took him home, and we are having just a whirlwind of love and romance and happiness and joy. And I'm so excited about this new relationship and this new love that I start giving away pieces of myself to satisfy this relationship. I start giving away time that I should have been spending studying. I started giving away all of my energy, all of my love, all of my compassion, all of my kindness. Because don't we give away the best parts of ourselves for the people we love? And so here I am becoming this vessel that is pouring and pouring and pouring. And he's just... Y'all know Jared? Y'all dated Jared? And so as I am in this relationship, you know, I got excited. But I had time on my hands to figure out that Jared didn't like staying home at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sitting at home, listening to the rain, drinking. Can I add that? I was drinking. So I was going where? Well, y'all can go louder. Why? Because I was where? Side. I cannot. I would say maybe within the 2 years that Jared and I were together, we had went through so many toxic cycles, so many breakdowns, so much what I now know is mental and emotional abuse, that at the time I was like, girl, he just need help. I gotta teach him how to love. He ain't never had nobody love him before. And so here I am using all of my natural gifts to pour into someone who was not willing or ready. And so the cycle that we will be in, I don't know if y'all have ever seen these cycles, but you know, we have our breakups and I'll be like, I'm done with you. And then 2 weeks later, I'll be like, Des. Just let me. Because I know you're going through stuff, you know? I know you just need me to be better. You just need more of me, right? So I would change everything about me, and I would say, okay, well, Brittany, maybe, you know, the reason why he couldn't get it together because you didn't have it together. So let's go get you together, and then he'll be together, and then you can be together, right? And so I would go change something about myself to make myself easier to love. And so I would do that, and then I would come back home, and this is what I would find. Barely home. Thinking you gon' get you some, smelling like a fragrance. I don't even wear that. I don't even wear that. He better go where? Day to day with you, it's always something else. Working my nerves. God knows that I don't deserve what you put me through. I know you know the words. For you to come at me with another lame excuse. Y'all listen. You know, it was ups and it was downs, and it was ups, it was downs. And so when I got tired of hearing what he had to say, I would just say, you know what, Jared, I'm too good for you. I'm out. I'm bouncing. And so I would leave. And I would go, Des. But I came back because I was worried about what was going on. And so I was like, well, maybe. And I would get the lingerie, and I would put on the cute stuff, and I would say, well, maybe I just need to become what he wants, right? And so I would change myself. I will be your fantasy. What do you mean? Because when men are not happy with just you, you begin to think, well, maybe I'm not attractive enough. Girl, maybe I don't do what he like in the bedroom. You know, because, he was cheating with strippers. Can we go there? So I was like, you know what? I got it. He wanted a strip pole. Why didn't I think of that? Let me go get one. We're so willing to become what they need. So much so that we begin to change to be whatever that fantasy is, whatever that need is, whatever that desire is, and we're chasing their love, but at the end of the day, we're missing who we are. But all of that chasing, all that running, and all of that morphing and becoming something different, in the midst of that relationship, I totally lost who I was. And so I looked up one day, and when you read the book, you'll find in chapter 1, the chapter begins with me reaching a point where I'm leaving the relationship and I'm totally lost and don't know what I want and who I am. And so that led me to what I call, my clients work with me, a very ugly day, where I had to go and look in the mirror and take full account for what happened in that relationship. And we call that the mirror of ugly truths. See, you heard them? The mirror of ugly truths is when you sit down and you have a real conversation with yourself about what actually happened. Because you see, the story I kept telling myself was, he's the problem. He is the bad guy. He keeps hurting me. He's the reason why I'm not happy. And so when I stood in that mirror and I finally had to look myself in my eyes, the person in that mirror was an asshole. Because they said things to me like, Brittany, no, you knew in year 2 that he was trash. But you stayed for another 4 years. So whose fault was that? And I was like, mirror, I didn't ask you that. That was none of your business. Nobody asked you that. I was just trying to comb my hair today. That was not what I want to talk about. And the mirror said things to me like, Brittany, the reason why you're chasing love is because you got used to his validation. Because somewhere along this journey, you stopped validating yourself. Didn't ask you for that either. I didn't want that. But the purpose of the mirror of ugly truth is to reflect to you the ways in which you've been participating in self-betrayal. And those are ugly moments, those are ugly days, but they're necessary. And so as I stood in my mirror, Des, I had to have a whole conversation with me. And in that conversation, I had to get honest about the ways in which I was sabotaging everything I wanted for my life. How I was more willing to show up for somebody than I was willing to show up for myself. That I was more willing to be available for somebody who wasn't willing to be available for me. And isn't it sad that we are willing to give so much of ourselves and then hope that they reciprocate? leave it up for it to be an option that they reciprocate. And so standing in that mirror, you guys, I was completely lost with who was staring back at me and ashamed. So ashamed that I dropped my gaze to my feet because I didn't want to look at me anymore. And in that moment, the person in that mirror said, Brittany, I forgive you. Because you did the best you could with what you had. No one demonstrated for you what self-love actually looked like. And no one ever protected you the way you should have been protected. So as I sat there having my ugly day, full of tears and heartbreak and crying and pain, I made a commitment. As broken as I was in that moment, I looked back at myself and I said, Brittany, never again. That I'm coming to find you. I have lost pieces of you along the way, but for everything that I lost about who you are, I'm coming back for you. I'm coming back for your smile. I'm coming back for your joy. I'm coming back for your peace. And through hell and high water, I'm coming for you. Made for This is about the journey back to me. Made for This is about the journey to the woman that you've always been designed to be, despite the fact of all the people who told you otherwise. Made for This is about believing in who God says you are, despite whether or not you feel like it in the moment. I have had to conquer a lot of mountains on this journey back to me. Most of those mountains were internal. Every mountain that I had that said, Brittany, you're not good enough for it. Brittany, you're not strong enough for it. You don't come from the right family. You was twerking in 2007. She was twerking too. But the journey back to you will always be worth it. And I have found that as I have discovered everything that I am, the doors of my life have opened. Which is why I'm leaving the VA, I'm sorry. But it's a journey that you will never regret. And so as I stand here whole, as I stand here happy, as I stand here healed, my job in writing this book was to teach other women and give them the blueprint that I didn't have about how to come back to yourself. Because coming back to you is possible. So, as you guys read the book and do the workbooks, I want you guys to know that all of you are made for this. Thank you.